And we are back on the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, producer Chris Daughtry, behind the scenes for today's live show. We'll discuss the latest on the Cowboys, which isn't much except bad, the KaVontae Turpin stuff. And then we'll get to our Cowboys-Vikings Madden sim. So the news that actually broke yesterday afternoon, evening, somewhere in that ballpark, from an overnight arrest. KaVontae Turpin arrested over the weekend, gun and marijuana charges. It's a pair of misdemeanors for Turpin, who was, I think Dallas Morning News reported going 97 and a 70, which what led to him getting pulled over, and then the possession of marijuana, less than 2 ounces, unlawful carrying of a weapon, which I believe stems from Turpin and his incidents at TCU, which he pled out. I think that led to him not having the proper permits or something along those lines. So 2 misdemeanors there. I wouldn't anticipate a suspension. It'd be kind of weird if there was a suspension, because the NFL doesn't punish players for weed anymore. It's 2025, and like half the states, that wouldn't have been a crime in the first place. The gun charge probably won't elicit a suspension either. Javonte Williams had a relatively similar charge, and that didn't. NFL announced there would be no disciplinary action there. There will probably be some type of internal discipline, whether that's announced publicly or not, but I'm sure Schottenheimer has already spoken with Turpin and the Jones boys, who are enjoying their vacation, I believe, off the coast of Italy. At least that's where the yacht is right now. Sure didn't like waking up to that phone call. Turpin got paid this offseason, 3 years, $13.5 million. In years past, the Cowboys have written in to the contract language, fines void your guarantees, but the only guarantees that aren't already paid out, the signing bonus, which you can't really go after right now, is his base salary this year, which they're probably not going to void, / once it gets to week 1, it's guaranteed anyway. So I think that's just, I don't see much changing on the Turpin front. It's more of a, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed thing with KaVontae Turpin. Like, 0 days since our last nonsense. Why can't it be 365? Obvious reasons, but it's frustrating. So predictions. My answer is no. I don't think KaVontae Turpin gets suspended. I would actually be pretty surprised that happened, just with the way the NFL operates. But you can vote. Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments of today's show. Will KaVontae Turpin be suspended? Y for yes, N for no. Majority votes say yes in the pin poll. I don't think he's going to. Again, the NFL doesn't care that much about marijuana when half the states have legalized it and other half have not. So I'm not too worried about it, but you guys can sound off Y for yes, N for no. All right, Turpin aside, let's get to the Madden schedule. We are deep into the season. Cowboys won 8 of their first 9 games. Hit the bye, which included the Week 9 chaos win over the Cardinals, chaos win over the Raiders, chaos win over the Eagles, a loss against the Chiefs, understandable, and a win against the Lions last week. And now we play the Vikings today, and then potentially going on a little bit of a break here from the live Madden schedules, TBD exactly on that front. But Week 5, the win, or we'll see win or loss over the Vikings today. Week 14 was the last win over the Lions. Now, we are going to do another George Pickens jersey raffle. Congrats to Austin Carey for winning the first one. This will take us through the remainder of the offseason into around the preseason time frame. So get your jersey raffle entries in. $5 gets you 1, $10 gets you 2. And we'll ride again, $20 for a shotty, $50 for the beer bong, and every $100 total today gets you a beer bong as well. We are doing the Super Chat special again. $20 on Venmo at What Going Downey gets you into the Venmo 50/50 raffle, and I'll do a beer bong just because. There might be a limit on the beer bongs I'm willing to do because I do have to drive home, but well, it's a future Tom problem if we get there, if I got to call an Uber or something. So at What Going Downey, $20 for the Venmo 50/50 raffle and the beer bong. In the Madden sim, the Cowboys are unbelievably hot at 11-2, which I find wildly unlikely. Like I just don't believe it. The Vikings are 8-5, part of a good, very good NFC overall, where they've kind of all beaten up on each other except for the Cowboys somehow. So like they're all like 8, 7, 9 win teams. Like Eagles have kind of gotten hot since the Cowboys beat them. The Commanders are good. The Lions, the Vikings, the Packers. A lot of good teams there. Who we got in this one? V for the Vikings, C for the Cowboys. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. V for the Vikings, C for the Cowboys. Who you got winning this one? Sound off. And this is the sim, not the real life, just the sim side of things here. As far as stats go, by the way, Dak Prescott putting up MVP, Madden Dak, MVP numbers. I would take the stat line so damn fast. The yards are a little bit lower than what you'd like, but it's the sim element of it. 81.3% of his passes. Threw 2 interceptions last week. Also threw 4 passing touchdowns and had a third straight 300-plus yard game, which is a lot in these Madden sims. 27 TDs, 6 INTs. Also has 200 yards on the ground and 5 rushing touchdowns. Jaden Blue is averaging over 6 yards per carry. But how about Javonte Williams? He's at 957 yards this year. He's about to surpass the 1,000-yard figure and is averaging almost 5.8 yards per carry, which is unbelievable. So in real life, for real life, what is the percent chance Javonte Williams actually runs for 1,000 yards? Like, I feel like it's not actually that high, but I am curious what you guys have to say. So what is the percent chance Javonte Williams runs for 1,000 yards in real life? -69, 35%, 60%, 10%, 2%, 4%, 55%, 0% from Jariah Jones. Robert Simmons in there. Greg Turner's got 60. Jason's got 72. Tyler's got 0. Fabian's got 40. Keep the comments coming. Percent chance Javonte actually runs for 1,000 yards this season. The receiver stats are kind of crazy too. 4 players are over 600 yards, which makes it unlikely they'll all get to 1,000. Maybe Pickens and Lamb do, but 4 games left. Going to be a little bit tight there. George Pickens leads the team in touchdowns with 12. Second is CeeDee Lamb, who leads the team in yards at 825. And then Jake Ferguson actually leads the team in catches, not by a lot. And then Madden Tolbert just keeps on delivering. He's averaging almost 16 yards per catch, the highest of any player on the team. So Ferguson's in yards, or is in catches. Lamb's in yards. Pickens is in touchdown. Tolbert's in average. Crazy. Micah Parsons up to 12 sacks now on the season, plus 17 tackles for loss as well. He has done some productive stuff so far in the Madden Sims. Not going to go for the record, but it is another 12-plus sack season in the Madden version for Micah. All right, give me your score predictions of the Cowboys against the Vikings. Let me know in the comments of today's video. Get those score predictions in. Cowboys against the Vikings. As your score predictions come in, for those of you just now tuning in, as a reminder, we are going to start another George Pickens jersey raffle. If you already got a Pickens jersey, or if you're Austin Carey and you already won, we will do a different player too. So we can swap it out with limited issues on that front. So we're going to start that George Pickens jersey raffle entries today. And in fact, whoever comments the most in the next 60 seconds, I'll let producer Chris pick the first winner here, will get that George Pickens jersey raffle or entry. So get your comments in. You can just spam C, you can spam GP, you can spam whatever. Flood the comment section right now. I didn't see who it was. Someone asked who leads the Cowboys in interceptions this year. First off, very few interceptions, very light. I believe it is still Israel Nukwamu, who has been benched when Trayvon Diggs came back. And thanks to his pick last week, Donovan Wilson. Both have 2 interceptions. Bland's just has the 1. Diggs has 0 in my stat tracking. Savone Revel actually leads the Cowboys in pass breakups this year, which is kind of funny. I think Elam's got 1. Kenneth Murray's got another. So just been kind of a weird smattering of the INTs. Not that many turnovers in general in the Sims this year. Been kind of light on that front. So I think it's been about 60 seconds. Chris, who is our first winner for the free raffle entry?
We're going to go with Soccer Pro.
Soccer Pro. This is the wrong sport, dude.
Yeah. Football.
Yeah, whatever.
It's the right sport,
couldn't
actually.
even be. Mexico in the Gold Cup. So who are we to celebrate anything? Also, how was that not a handball? Someone told me it's because he was falling. That doesn't make sense to me. How come you get to be worse at the sport and be uncoordinated and then thus get to commit more penalties? That doesn't make any sense. You should be penalized for it. Oh, he was falling? Stay on your feet. What are you talking about?
You couldn't pay me to watch soccer.
That's like saying, oh, it's not a holding penalty because he fell down. He's still held. Still a handball. What do you mean that's okay? Nonsense. That's nonsense. Either way, we'll probably do this again later on, so stay tuned for that one. All right, the Super Chat menu. Soccer Pros upset me. That's fair. We gave you the free entry. It's fine. Super Chat menu, $5. You're into the George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 is 2 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. $20 for the Shotty. $50 for the beer bong. The Shotty is the vodka lemonade combination that Shotty drinks, so it's a Shotty. That's what he called it in the Cowboys' little schedule video. Every $100 total will be a beer bong. No supers yet. We shall see if that changes. Goal was always about a 50% like ratio, by the way. We're not that far away from it. We're at about a 30% like ratio. So, Jari Jones says 500 for a Turpin bong. I don't think I can do that one because of legality. The beer bong's already kind of flirting with it. So, like the video if you haven't already done so. Get those likes in. And we'll get set up here for the Vikings and the Cowboys. This is another primetime game late in the season, by the way. I put the Cowboys in their navies because I didn't really have them wear the navies enough early in the season. I also think the purple pants look pretty good for Minnesota. So I often just go with the cooler opposing jerseys. Kick is away from the Vikings. It'll be Turpin on this return. And Turpin gets loosed past the 40 to the 42. So one of the better opening returns for KaVontae Turpin. The kickoff, by the way, was by Will Reichard. Your boy there, Chris. Your Bama boy. So Cowboys out on offense. As a reminder, Dallas is 11-2. Trust me, I don't get it either. The Vikings are 8-5. So two good teams in this one. Let's see what the Cowboys dial up on this front. Yeah, I haven't seen this at all. I've seen like some clapping and pointing, but I haven't ever seen the. I've seen this a lot now. He holds it weird like this, like the whole hand like that. It's kind of weird. Prescott under center. First play is a give to Javonte Williams, who is going to pick up a huge chunk gain of 17, put him closer and closer to the 1,000-yard mark in the sim season. Cowboys get the first down. Type in those ones. So a strong start here for the Cowboys. They are already in Vikings territory, already in field goal range. Pistol set now. Little 2x2 stacked set. Dak drops back. Throws, caught by Lamb. He will pick up 7. 2nd and 3. The Bad Wolf jersey, 69. James Zabarvo, Andrew Zabarvo requested it. $500 Venmo. I will wear a jersey of your name and number of choosing, as long as it is able to be printed. I guess it's the only qualifier there. And then end of the year, we will ship it out to you. Dak under center, play action. Weird spin. Got a man. It's Ferguson to the 20. A gain of 20 for a first down pickup. We're in the red zone. Since we have no supers yet, every menu item counts double if the Cowboys score a touchdown on this opening drive. So a $5 super chat is 2 jersey raffle entries. $10 is 4. $20 is 2 shotties. $50 is 2 beer bongs. Prescott resetting is going to throw it away, incomplete. 2nd and 10. That was a very weird Dak spin on that play too, on the previous play. So red zone deal, everything is double. Get your super chats in 5, 10, 20, and 50. And every 100 I'll do a beer bong too. 100 total, should say. 2nd and 10, Prescott in the shotgun. Steps up, is going to go down. That one, we've seen some bad Prescott sacks. That one felt a little bit more like the offensive line collapsed on him. Javon Hargrave brings down Prescott. 3rd and 15. That interior O-line just kind of collapsed in upon itself. There's Donut Shotty as well. 3rd and 15 coming up next. So a big 3rd down outside the red zone. They will go empty. 5:10 to go in the first quarter. Prescott in that empty personnel. There's nobody within the backfield. Drops back. Throws a seam shot. There's a flag. Is this holding or on Minnesota? A rare penalty. This, I think, is like the second penalty not against the Cowboys all season. Mekhi Blackmon gets called for DPI. It is a free first down. 1st and 10 at the 11. I don't know where the penalty was, but it's a first down. Great time to get those red zone supers in. Prescott, slant, caught by Lamb. He picks up 5 to bring up 2nd and 5. Looked like maybe there was some contact on the left side on that play that led to the DPI, but I'll take the free set of downs. 2nd and 5 now forthcoming. Williams, the single back, kind of a little trips formation right. Dak will drop back, throws to Ferguson. Ferguson doesn't get much, and it will once again be 3rd and 5. Again, the red zone deal is everything counts double. If the Cowboys score a touchdown on this drive, $5 for the Pickens raffle, $10 for 4 of them. Instead of 2, it's now 4, so 2 for 1 on the 5. Shotties and beer bongs at 20 and 50. Prescott drops back, flush, rolling right, gonna tuck and get in. End zone. Cowboys score the 6th rushing touchdown of the season for Dak Prescott as he escapes the edge. Somebody came in free, untouched up the middle. That was Harrison Phillips, who's a big bowling ball nose guard. Cowboys get to the edge, and Dak scores 6-0. We'll see if it goes to 7-0. I have yet to see, knock on wood, and this extra point yet this season. In fact, Aubrey has not missed inside of 50 yards all season long. So extra point coming up from Aubrey. And it is good. So it is an early 7-0 lead for your Dallas Cowboys up over the Minnesota Vikings. No one did the 2-for-1 special. We'll do it the next time they go in the red zone. Maybe. I guess they have to get to the red zone. $5 for the George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 is 2. You know, how about this? First of all of these items counts double. So the first $5 super chat gives you 2 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. $10 is 4 at that point. $20 is 2 shotties. 50 is 2 beer bongs. So get your super chats in.
Oh, we got JJ in here.
It is JJ McCarthy. Tim says, Tom, don't get drunk. Den of Pin says, get Tom drunk. It's up to you guys. It's up to you in the end. McCarthy going to give it to Aaron Jones, and there's that patented Cowboys run defense. Allows 7 on first down. So not great on that one. Overall, Cowboys have not been terrible against the run, I feel like. Just they've benefited from having some leads. 2nd and 3. McCarthy under center. Going to play action. Blitz coming. Throws incomplete. DeMarvion Overshown came screaming in off the edge. And that brings up 3rd and 3. So type in those threes here. There's 3:37 in the first quarter. Motion coming. McCarthy going to give it to Jones, and Jones will get the first down and a little bit more. They're going to give him only 3 in the end. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Throws into the flat, incomplete. Tried to hit up Jordan Addison, could not connect. So they will try it again on 2nd and 10. Aaron Jones is historically a Cowboys killer, and I do not mean that in a good way at all. I have many bad issues about that overall. Throws over the middle, wide open. Jalen Nailor, the number 3 receiver, gets it all the way down to the 35 of the Dallas Cowboys. So that is not going according to plan. 1st and 10, inside of 3 minutes to go. The Cowboys defense a little shaky right now. McCarthy in the shotgun. Motion coming. Gives it to Aaron Jones, who's going to dance and eventually cut it up. Only gets one. And Micah Parsons in there on the tackle. A little bit too much dancing on that run from Aaron Jones. He had room to splice that one up the middle and did not take it. So 2nd and 9. Again, the first 5, the first 10, the first 20, and the first $50 super chat all count double once they come in. I'll do 2 beer bongs for the first 50, 2 for the first 20 shotties. McCarthy off balance across his body, incomplete. Aaron Jones dropped it on the hit from Kenneth Murray. So 3rd and 9. They are inside of field goal range, though it'd be a long one. McCarthy drops back, has some time, throws, broken up, and honestly should have been picked. Trayvon Diggs did the head around, swat it down, but if he had just turned, that would have been intercepted. So it will be a long field goal try from Will Reichard, who doesn't have the strongest leg in the world there, Chris. Not necessarily weak. This one will be a 51-yarder. He should have the distance for it. Kick is on its way. It is good. And Will Reichard cuts the lead to Minnesota from 7-0 to 7-3, putting the Vikings on the board for the first time today. So 2:02 to go. Cowboys set to get the football back here. Super chat menu, the first one for all of these counts as 2. So $5 gets you 2 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. $10 gets you 4 for the first one. $20 gets you me to do 2 shotties. And $50 means I will do 2 beer bongs. Kick is away. At the 15 or 17 is Jaden Blue. Will get taken down at the 31. So that is where the Cowboys offense in the navies will come back out. Opening drive was capped off by a Dak Prescott scramble for a touchdown. Inside of 2 to go. Let's see what the Cowboys offense dials up. See this again? They did the point. Did like this hand motion? That's been their new one. It's been the point and this, I've noticed, instead of this. Dak in the shotgun. Williams, the single back behind him. It is a give to Javonte. Javonte is not going to get much, 3 yards. Puts him at 20 on the day. He had a 17-yard run on the opening drive. That one is a 3-yard run. So 2nd and 7 for the Cowboys. Shotgun set. Dak, a drag. Caught by Ferguson. That is a first down. A gain of about 10. Type in those ones as Jake Ferguson delivers on the catch. And the Cowboys now approaching midfield. From the 44, offset I, 2 tight ends left. Lamb, the lone receiver. Dak going to give it to Javonte. Javonte dancing, finds a crease, gets to the edge, gets past the 40 to the 40 or to the 32-yard line from the 44. A 20-plus yard run by Javonte Williams, which puts him on the doorstep of going over 1,000 yards in the Madden season. I think that does put him over 1,000 yards on the season in Madden. Javonte continues to cook. Yeah, that should put him just over it. Congrats for Madden Javonte. So 1st and 10, Prescott in the shotgun. Has time, throws in the flat to Lamb. First down, CeeDee Lamb. If you're wondering why we still have Mike McCarthy, because I cannot update the coaches. I can update the rosters, I can update the playbooks, and I have, but I cannot update the coaches themselves. So 1st and 10 from the 22. Empty for Prescott and the Cowboys offense. Dak throws downfield, a strike. It's caught. It's Madden Tolbert. He delivers again. He's so good for some reason in Madden. Madden Tolbert on a 22-yard touchdown strike from Prescott. Delivers again. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for the Cowboys. Madden Tolbert again, spam those TDs. How is he so good? All he does is produce big, high leverage moments. His 5th TD of the season. Extra point time from Aubrey. It is up, and it is good. 14-3, Cowboys up over the Vikings. Lawrence Rodriguez, a $20 super check. I didn't grab the shotty, if you can do that for me here. That's 2 shotties and a bunch of entries, by the way, into the raffle as well. Thank you very much, my friend. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Sweet. Thank you. Appreciate that. Lawrence Rodriguez. We'll get it up on screen in a second to the shotties as well. Kickoff coming up here. This is the Vikings on the return. And catch the number, actually. Thank you. Appreciate it. Believe that was Jalen Naylor on the return. Gets out to about the 20-something. 2 shots coming up. Thank you, Lawrence Rodriguez. We'll go more in depth on it after this play. Just says, cheers, Tom. Thoughts about Rasul Douglas as a free agent pickup. First up, McCarthy. Over or down to the side, and going to pick up 6 on that one. Cheers. First one. I think Rasul is a decent option if you think you need an entire season-long starter. I suspect he doesn't want to go somewhere where he might be like cornerback 4 in November like he might be in Dallas. I think there are some more cornerback-needy teams that might pay him more money, give him more guaranteed play time, but I think he is one of the better options out there. Cheers to you, Lawrence. I think going with the sugar-free lemonade was a good idea for my stomach, but a bad idea for the taste, for the shoddy combination. Remember, it's vodka and cut with some lemonade. As Aaron Jones picks up almost 10 on that run. Cowboy killer Aaron Jones. We're almost gone with the shotties, though. At least the first batch of them. So, we'll do them all year long. All right, McCarthy under center. Vikings first drive and then in a field goal. A give to Aaron Jones here. Jones trying to get to the edge, just can't quite do it. Does pick up 2. Ooh. Ecuador man has a good idea we might need to pivot to. Vodka hard lemonade. That might be a good idea. I like that idea. I was trying to keep it more in line with the shoddy themselves of what he drinks, but I like that idea. Hand off to Aaron Jones, and Jones is going to get the first down and a bunch more. Cowboy killer right there. I think that's a good idea. I think I should finish what I bought from a lemonade standpoint, but that'll be cut through. So yeah, I like that. 1st and 10. McCarthy, a lot of time, throws and caught for a gain of 15. That's Jordan Addison. First down pickup for Minnesota. They are now again on the edge of the red zone, this time at the 25-yard line. Shaky-ish start so far for the Cowboys defense. They did hold to a field goal last time. In the second quarter, 1st and 10 for McCarthy and company. Shotgun set, drops back, throws, caught. Dangerous tight window, little slant flat combination there. Pulled the linebacker into the area. and it's a gain of 8 by Justin Jefferson. Second and 2. Under center. It's a give and not much. 3rd and inches coming up next. Third and inches. Type in those 3s. Very short yard to gain here. Motion coming. Doesn't get it! Mozzie Smith, of all players, delivers. 4th and inches coming up now. Great play by Mozzie. There's an additional $20 super from Matt Temple. We'll break it down here in a second. Cheers to you. The Vikings will go for it, though, first on 4th and inches. Jones will get it on the give. He picked up 3, so the 4th and inches stand, 3rd and inches stand ends up not materializing. Shot for Matt Temple coming up. I'll break down the super chat itself more in depth after this drive wraps up when it's not as much chaos going on there. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Give. Jordan Mason spinning and is going to get nothing on that one. So cheers to you, Matt. Woo. It's a good question. I want to come back to it and give it some more time to marinate. Also, I think works pretty well in a mailbag setting. I-form set for McCarthy. 2nd and 10. Another give to Jones. Good tackle there by Kenneth Murray to hold on. It's a gain of 3. 3rd and 7 coming up next. Type in those 3s. We're already down inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half. Turd's right. Madden Mozzie's kind of stepped up as of late. McCarthy. Time. Throwing off balance and just throws it away. What are you doing, McCarthy? That should bring up another field goal try for the Vikings on 4th and 7 at the 9. Will once again be Will Reichard coming up here for Minnesota. I thought McCarthy should have just scrambled there, frankly. Field goal, chip shot territory, up, good, 14-6. So, Matt Temple, what would be the best, what would you consider as the best free agent signing since 2000? For me, it is Leroy Glover. I would consider, I think you could toss in, a Terrell Owens in that conversation, just from, the sheer impact volume. I don't think Brandon Carr was as bad as some want to make it out to be. He didn't miss a snap, or at least the game. I do think Leroy Glover is the right answer. He was impactful. He played a long time. It was pretty good value on the contract itself. I do think Glover's probably the right answer, which is concerning given how long ago that was. Return from Jaden Blue. Makes a man miss. He's loose 50, 40, out of bounds or knocked down at the 34. So again, the Cowboys take over in fantastic field position, and they will immediately be in field goal territory. So again, 2-for-1 specials, if not done already. So $5 is still 2 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. $10 is still 4 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. $20 for one shotty, $50 2 beer bongs. And once we get to 100 total, I will do an additional beer bong. Ecuador, man, show some respect to Ryan Nall. They told me he would do something. They lied from the start. All right, 1st and 10 for the Cowboys offense. 2:29 to go. Prescott throws. Got Tolbert again. And he's inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. Madden Tolbert is out of his mind. All he does is make plays. That's all he does. Play after play. We're in the red zone, so I will have the $20 supers count as 2 again if they score a touchdown. I'll offer that deal. Prescott under center, 2-minute warning. Tolbert was wide open, to be fair. There was nobody near him. Looked like double slant, which is the Cowboys like to run. I also love, it's Cowboys slot slant. It wasn't the playbook. I love that play. Cowboys slot slant always worked. Prescott, they run double slants again. This time it's Pickens. He picks up 9. 2nd and 1 from the 7 coming up next here. Cowboys are marching on this one. Dak under center. Offset I. Bleeding clock as they should. Prescott under pressure is going to go down. Kind of a delayed blitz off the edge. That's Jonathan Grenard kind of snuck around late. And it is now 3rd and 9. Ran right into the pressure. Didn't need to. Should have stayed in that pocket. Williams also whiffed pretty bad in pass protection. Whiffed pretty bad. So 3rd and 9. Let's see how much clock the Cowboys bleed off here. There's Madden Mozzie. He's done well as of late. Play clock down to 10. 45 seconds to go in the half. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back. Throws. Caught at the first down marker. He didn't get it. 4th and 1. Go for it. Go for it. Vikings called a timeout, by the way. 4th and 1 from the 6. Please don't be cowards. Go for it. We've seen both the kicker and the starting offense out there in the little cut packages. They will go for it. Now, empty personnel on 4th and 1, I don't know about. I question that decision. Prescott drops back. Slant wide open, Jaden Blue. How does that make any sense defensively? How is there nobody within 5 yards of the running back? Nobody went with him. What is that corner doing? He's covering 6 yards deep in the end zone. I'll take it. The Cowboys, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, 20-6. How is that the defensive strategy? When I boot up CFB 26-9, it better not look like that on defense. It better not. 20-6. Let's see if Aubrey, our resident alien, can make it 21-6. And he does. Dallas extends their lead. 2 passing TDs, Tolbert and Blue. 1 rushing TD for Dak Prescott so far today. 21-6, Cowboys are up. The Vikings will get the ball to begin the opening drive of the second half. They have 2 timeouts, and they'll have about 30-ish seconds, give or take, to march down the field on this drive. Aubrey's kick is away at the 5, fielded by Jalen Naylor, and Naylor is going to get to about the 30 and brought down there. Actually, that might have been Ty Chandler on the return. So 31 seconds, 2 timeouts. Can Minnesota get into field goal range? .31 seconds to go. The Vikings will go empty personnel. McCarthy in the shotgun. Drops back. Has time. Throws. Incomplete. Was at the feet of his intended target, Aaron Jones. Overshown in coverage. 27 seconds now to go in the first half. Second and 10 for McCarthy and company. Drops back. Hitch route caught by Hawkinson. Breaks a tackle. And they're going to give him only a gain of 2 on that one. Timeout Minnesota. .21 seconds. 1 timeout for the Vikings. Enough time to make a return or get in the field goal range? Maybe. I also would be shocked if Madden ran the ball here for some stupid reason. Like, would anyone that would surprise anyone with Madden's logic? They're not, at least. They're going to go empty personnel here. Drops back. McCarthy throws. Caught. No, incomplete. 17 seconds left. So 17 seconds left here. They will punt. Turpin back deep. It is away. And coverage gives up. Grabbed at 35. There's 11 seconds left. 3 timeouts for Dallas. If they can push it downfield, they really need 15 yards to get into field goal range here. Got 3 timeouts to get 1, maybe 2 plays, but it's got to be quick throws. Seam shots to Lamb or Ferguson is best bet, or Pickens. Dak against a bit of a blitz, throws the seam shot, caught by a diving Ferguson. He gets to the 47-yard line. There's 8 seconds left. So they are on the fringes of field goal range now. You could try that level of kick from Aubrey, but it'd be a tough one. Be a 70-yarder, but you probably want to get at least, they're really at the 46, so you got to get to at least midfield, if not a first down. Dak, time, throwing, caught, Pickens, got to get down, he does, timeout with a second left. 1 second left, and they'll bring out Aubrey for a 49-yard try. That was almost, he got kind of caught up on top of a body and didn't go down in time. So this will be an Aubrey field goal try. Boom, boom, 2 chunk quick passes to bring up 1st and 10, and a field goal try at the half from Aubrey to go up 24-6. Left hash. Aubrey's kick on the way. He drilled it. 24-6. The Cowboys up at the half. Spam the alien emoji. Domination from Dallas in the first half. One of the larger first half leads we have seen all season. The Cowboys up 24-6 in Week 15, trying to go to 12-2 in the Sims. I don't get it. I really don't. It's something. 24-6. Whoever comments the most, by the way, in the next 60 seconds, we'll get a free George Pickens jersey raffle entry. As a reminder, every $5 gets you 1. The first $5 gets you 2 entries. Every $10 gets you 2 entries. The first $10 super chat gets you 2 entries. Or gets you 4 entries, excuse me. First beer bong, I'll do 2 of them. Return now. I think that's Ty Chandler, and he is going to get drilled on that one by Leafau. Only got to the 24-yard line. So Minnesota does get the ball to begin the second half, but they are down 24-6, an 18-point deficit here. Had to check my math. That is indeed correct. All right, Chris, who gets our first, or I should say second, jersey raffle entry here?
We're going to go with Jared Jones.
How do you spell that? First name? Oh, Jariah Jones. McCarthy is going to just awkwardly loft that one out of bounds, incomplete, 2nd and 10. I pronounce it Jariah, like Messiah is how I pronounce it. Jariah Jones.
I thought it was spelled like how you say it in a country accent.
You're probably more right.
Like Jerry.
You're probably right, but it's funny this way. McCarthy under pressure, spinning away, throws it out of bounds, incomplete. Micah among those giving chase. 3rd and 10, and the Vikings on verge of doing their worst thing possible, a 3 and out. 3rd and 10. Just inside their own 25. McCarthy has time, rolling right, tucking, running, not going to get there. Dante Fowler brings him down. The tackle for Fowler, it's not a sack, but it does get them off the field. Diggs was also in, maybe not in good position. Izzy Mukwamu was when they brought the 6 DB out there. Big play by Dante Fowler. 4th and 7, punt time for Minnesota. And a chance for Dallas to really, truly put this one away. High punt. Turpin at his own 38 will return it and not get anywhere. Maybe a gain of 3. Again, the Super Chat menu, folks. The first $5 Super Chat today gets you 2 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. The first $10 Super Chat gives you 4 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. Already did double shotty, so 20 for 1. First $50 Super Chat, I'll do 2 beer bongs. So Cowboys out again on offense. Jaden Blue in the backfield. I think that's Blue. Prescott drops back. Flushed. Dancing. Gonna go down. He held that ball way too long. And it's a loss of 5. Held that ball far longer than he ever should. So 2nd and 15 coming up now. Lone Wolf is in with the 4 entries for the George Pickens jersey raffle. Hope you had a good weekend. I did, Lone Wolf. Hope you did too. 2nd and 15. Cowboys drop back again. Throw quickly to Pickens. Breaks a tackle. Going to hurdle a guy laying on the ground or jump over him and get about 6. There's the $10 Super Chat from Lone Wolf. I will say we're at $49.99 in Super Chat revenue. We'll round up. So what that means is if we get a 50, I'll do 2 for the first 50 that came in and then another for the $100 that we hit. So it'd be 3. Prescott stepping up, running, is not going to get there. Not Harrison Smith. That is Blake Cashman. Brings him down, and Dallas will have to punt. So the first non-touched or really scoring drive of the day for the Cowboys coming up right now early in the 3rd quarter. So because we're at $49.99 and a roundup, first $50 Super Chat, I'm going to do 2 for 1 offer, and it'll be at 100 total. So I'll do 3 total. Punt is away, bounds the 10, and will be a touchback. Not quite the finesse needed on that one. Turds, I should have been a Tom Tart for this one. We shipped out the Pop-Tart. That was part of the deal. Winner got the Pop-Tart costume. I don't remember where I shipped it to, but I know I shipped it out to the winner. So 1st and 10, Vikings still down 24-6. We get that $50 Super Chat, you think, Chris, or no? All right. Always got to be alert for the ones who are lurking, like Anthony. McCarthy, rolling right, tucking, running, sliding, picks up 3. Overshown will get the tackle on that one. 2nd and 7 now. Been all Cowboys so far. Defense has played well. Offense has played well. Special teams did their job. They've actually done a good job today on returns. McCarthy going to play action it. Throws. Caught. First down and more. To about midfield. Jalen Naylor has been the Vikings' leading receiver today, as unusual as that is. J-Buzz, $5. When all healthy, you think Diggs, Bland, and Revel would be on the field at the same time? Will Bland play the slot willingly? Can Savone Revel play any slot? I think Bland will play it. He's been willing to before. I think those will be your 3. I don't think Savone can play the slot, though. That's not his skill set. I think Bland would be your nickel corner. McCarthy hands it off to Jones, and he gets nothing on that one. Kenneth Murray, a big-time tackle. So kind of, again, on J-Buzz's Super Chat, I think it's Diggs and Bland on the outside, maybe in base packages, nickel packages. Bland shifts onto the inside. Revel comes out for the outside in 3rd downs. But I think Bland would be your nickel. 2nd and 10. McCarthy throws a dot for 1st down. I think that was Justin Jefferson. So 1st and 10, Minnesota. They're now at the 40. The next $50 super chat, it ends up being 3 beer bongs here. McCarthy has some time. Checks it down. Bobbled and caught and held onto for a first down to the 29. I don't know if that was Addison or Josh Oliver, the number two tight end. First and 10. Handoff to Aaron Jones. Makes a man miss. Gets to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 14. Aaron Jones has played well, but the Vikings have been down so much they haven't really been able to lean on him here. First and 10 coming up here for J.J. McCarthy and company. They're down by 18. Toss left to Jones. Jones going to get to about the 11, a gain of 4. Second and 6 coming up now. I-form set. Jones again, the handoff. Breaks a tackle from Wilson, but doesn't get much. Leafau and others in there on the tackle. 3rd and 6 coming up now. Probably 4-down territory, by the way, for Minnesota. Wouldn't make much sense otherwise. Trips right. McCarthy in the shotgun. Drops back. Throws, end zone, nearly intercepted by Deron Bland. That was a good play. Came off his assignment, drifted back and broke up the intended target towards Justin Jefferson. So 4th and 6. Late in the 3rd, they're going to kick the field goal. I guess this does make it a 2-score game to make it a 15-point deficit. Reichard's kick is up and good. 24-9. I mean, you're going to... I get why the game did it. I don't know if I do that in real life. Then again, I'm ultra aggressive. I don't kick field goals, period. We got our 5s. We got our 10s. The only 2-for-1 super chat not yet done is the $50 super chat for the beer bong, which would really be 3-for-1 because we'll surpass 100 total. $5 into our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 is 2 Pickens jersey raffles. $20 for a shotty. $50 is 2 beer bongs. They become 3 because we do one for every $100 total. Turpin on the return gets to the 30 on that one. So the Cowboys offense back out there. I would argue points period would probably be enough to put this game away. You'd go up 3 scores with points. Let's see what they do. Dak will go offset I. Javonte the single back. Or the back with Lipke besides him. Javonte runs right up the gut for a gain of 3 as Blake Cashman makes that tackle for the Vikings. So 2nd and 7 as we are at least one more play before the start of the 4th quarter here. So it's at start Milton for the 4th quarter. I just record it. I can't pause it and insert Joe Milton. Dak, a seam broken up. He had an edge, Jonathan Grenard on Jalen Tolbert. So that was the right matchup. But again, Chris, they did the dart throw instead of the lob throw. You put some touch on that, it's a touchdown to Tolbert. 3rd and 7. Big 3rd down. Dak in the shotgun. Drops back. Throws downfield. Got a man. It's Madden Tolbert. 10-5. He's in again. He just keeps doing it. Madden Tolbert. 2 touchdowns on the day. He did it again. How does he do it? Madden Tolbert is unbelievable. Down the sidelines, he takes it in on what, a 60-something yard score? Almost 70? I think it was a 67-yard score. He's up well over 100 yards on the day. Madden Tolbert is incredible. Right by the defense. And the Cowboys, with this extra point from Brandon Arby, which is up and good, go up 31-9. Maybe we will get to see Milton enter the game. Maybe. I mean, Jalen Tolbert's about to command a $30 million contract on the market in Madden. 31-9. And we are not even into the fourth quarter yet. Wow. Defense just has to bleed clock. There's no way to overcome that deficit. This is a blowout, the likes of which we have not seen all year long. Kick is away, fielded by Ty Chandler. Chandler is going to get to about the 31-yard line. The previous largest win of the season was week 2 against the Giants, 31-14, and we have a chance to surpass that today. I think it'd be cool if I got to do 3 beer bongs in a row to wrap up the show too. But we need the $50 super chat. We need it. Haven't had it yet. We'll have more live sims rest of the year, by the way. So McCarthy going to give it to Jones. Jones is going to get 2 yards, and the clock will tick down. That will probably be the final play of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up. As a reminder, if we get the $50 super chat, it is 3 beer bongs. I have offered 2-for-1 specials on all of the original items and promised if we get to 100 total, I will do an additional beer bong. So the 50 would put us over the 100. That's 1. Plus the 2-for-1 offer, that's 3. Do it for each of the Vikings field goal kicks today. Almost all Tolbert's touchdowns too. He's got 2. So it's 2nd and 8 to begin the fourth quarter. McCarthy throws, got a man, it's caught. Jefferson to the 45-yard line. First down, Vikings. But the clock will tick, 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 tick. There's Donut Shoddy, as we call him, since it's not actually Schottenheimer, because I can't change the coaches. McCarthy throws incomplete, broken up along the sideline. Savone Revel got his hands on that one. 2nd and 10 coming up now. 6:29 to go in the fourth quarter. From the 46, McCarthy, flush to his left, resetting and throws it away to bring up 3rd and 10. Clock stops, but a lot of time. Does Kevin O'Connell have that weird mark on his forehead too now? I thought I saw it. Also, I think Dak's got too much hair on his head. Hot take. Trips right. 3rd and 10. 6:24 to go. McCarthy throws. Caught by Hawkinson. 4th and 4. They'll have to go for it. The deficit is too great not to. No choice but to go for it. Down by 3 scores, which, not including the 2-point try they have to go get. It's a 22-point lead. McCarthy in the shotgun. Drops back. Time. Had Jones in the flat. Goes to Hawkinson. Out of bounds. Didn't get it. He had Aaron Jones on the mesh concept at the top of the screen. Went to the bottom with Hawkinson. Was late getting it out. And the momentum and the tackler force Hawkinson out of bounds. And it's a horrible play by Minnesota. And that is going to give the Cowboys the ball back, up by 22 in the fourth quarter. And they can just grind the clock out after, I assume, the player of the game, Jalen Tolbert, scored again. So Dallas up, 5:53 to go. Chris, I don't think the beer bong is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So 1st and 10. Dak in the shotgun here. They should just run the ball a bunch. It's a keeper for Prescott. He's got space to the edge. 40, 35, and brought down to 31. Running it like this and didn't even slide either. Makes no sense, but it's a 1st down. Dak in the offense. The read option works. This is not how they're just running like this. Like he's just like moving their upper body only. Clock is running. They're bleeding the clock here. Prescott under center. Will give it to Javonte. Blown up. Tyler Smith, the pulling guard, missed Jonathan Allen. And it is a loss of 2, but the clock will continue to tick, 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 tick away. Prescott gives it to Williams. He's going to get 2 on that one. Third and 10. Type in those 3s. This is where you can throw it if you want to. 4:20. Nice to go. Give to Jaden Blue, and Jaden Blue gets the 1st down. 1st and 10 for Blue. That's my boy right there, and the Cowboys can bleed off even more time. 31-9, the Cowboys on the fringes of the red zone. Dak is going to throw it. Finds Ferguson on the drag, who breaks a tackle, breaks 2, and picks up 8. Okay. Can we get the hat trick for Tolbert? Can we do it? If we get the hat trick for Tolbert, we have to do someone has to send the 50 for 3 beer bongs. Someone has to do it. 2nd and 2, 3:25 to go. Dak, the give to Williams. Williams trying to bounce it wide. Tripped up. Doesn't get enough. Should have cut that up sooner. Byron Murphy made the tackle on that one. 3rd and 2. 3 minutes to go. They're going to go empty. Tolbert hat trick. Come on. Prescott. Play clock down to 2. The snap comes. Looking, throwing a dart to Lamb, and Lamb is in. It's not the Tolbert hat trick, but it is another Cowboys touchdown. Another unbelievable performance from the Madden Cowboys. Playing somehow way better than they did last year with a lower overall. Doesn't make any sense to me. Lamb scores. That is his 7th on the season. We've got 2 CeeDee Lamb TDs, 2 Jalen Tolbert TDs, a CeeDee Lamb touchdown, a Jaden Blue touchdown all through the air, and a Dak. 5 touchdowns today for Madden Dak. 2 to Tolbert. Maybe Dak is the player of the game then with 5 touchdowns. Extra point is up. It is 38-9. The shoddy camera work from Madden continues. Domination in this one from the Cowboys. Utter domination. And do we get to see backups at all? Does Sam Howell sub in for the Vikings, or is this more McCarthy time? Because this is where they should be considering it, as far as I'm concerned. Right about here. Kick is away from Aubrey, 2:40 to play. Ty Chandler at his own 5-yard line gets the 30 and brought down there. 1st and 10 coming up now for Minnesota, and a struggling offense led by J.J. McCarthy today. 9 points, all field goals. 38 points for the Cowboys. This, by the way, is the most the Cowboys have scored all year. They scored 37 in the Week 12 win in overtime, 35 in the Week 13 loss. 9 points is the second fewest they have allowed in a game this season. We shall see if that stays the case. McCarthy barking out some signals, drops back, throws, caught, and then dropped. That was a massive hit by DeMarvion Overshown on Jalen Nailor. Nailor got nailed. 2nd and 10 now. I don't think the 50 is going to come through, Chris. I guess you guys don't want to get me drunk. That's fine. That's fine. McCarthy drops back. Pressure coming. It's a screen to Aaron Jones. He has some space. He will not get the first down, though. 3rd and 1 outside of the 2-minute warning. Sip some water here. Third and 1. McCarthy. Blitz coming. Throws. Caught by Jefferson past midfield. Overshown brings him down. First and 10. McCarthy in that shotgun. 2-minute warning, no play. 38-9, Cowboys up over the Vikings. It is a mere formality. They will improve to 12-2 in the Sims, which is just nonsense. McCarthy over the middle, caught. First down pickup by Jalen Nailor. First and 10 at the 36. 3 to the left. McCarthy throws, caught again by Nailor. He gets 9 on that one, but the clock is ticking until formality is here. As I schedule a short on YouTube. .105 to go. McCarthy in the shotgun. Drops back. Throws. Intercepted. Deron Bland gets taken down, but it's the icing on the cake of a dominant performance. INT in the comments. Deron Bland, the interception. Spam those INTs. INT in the comments. It's the wonderful finish for a dominant game from the Cowboys. That, by the way, does tie Deron Bland, someone asked earlier, for the most INTs this season. Spam those INTs, spam those W's as well. As the Cowboys simply dominate the Vikings in this one. The Vikings have all 3 timeouts, so plays will have to be run, at least for the first one. Javonte picks up the first down. I mean, right up the gut. As we're stuffing the stat sheet here. Another first down. I don't know why Dak is still. I don't know why the starters are still. And I would love it if Madden would put the backups in. I think that'd be pretty cool. One more play, and then that should be it. As the Cowboys, 38-9. Why are they doing a quarterback keeper? What are you doing? I mean, thank God injuries are turned off. Could you imagine if Dak got hurt on that play? In real life or in the sim? Could you imagine? Be ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. 12-2. Cowboys dominating this season. Or wait. Yeah, that's right, because we're in week 15, and there's a bye week. Yeah, 12-2. Who gets the game ball for the Cowboys? Let me know in the comments. We'll bring producer Chris on so I can take off the turnover chain and the jersey as well. Who gets that game ball, though, for the Cowboys? Chris, take it away.
All right, we get some shout-outs here. I see Soccer Pro saying Dak. TX7 says Tolbert. Also want to throw the defense out there as well, just as an option. They only gave up 9. Only 3 field goals on the day for the defense as well. But it's got to be either Dak or Tolbert, probably. Ecuadorman says Mozzie. He had a couple big plays, a couple big stops there. Father of Dragon says Jerry Springer. Let's see. I see Dak, Tolbert, Dak, Tolbert. Javonte getting 1,000. That's a good one there from Daniel M. Hey, if he can get you 1,000 in real life, you'll take it all day. Jared Ferguson says Madden Tolbert's unstoppable.
Domination from the Cowboys in this one. Maybe we should adopt like a 3 stars or a 5-star system, like kind of like how hockey does. Like defense in general gets the 3rd star, Tolbert gets the 2nd star, and Dak gets the 1st star. It's very much a hockey thing, but I've always liked it. So get your game balls in and get your questions in for today's upcoming mailbag. We will do 2 of them. Several of those super chats we can include in the mailbags. Get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or guarantee you get in on the show via super chats. Any comments, questions, thoughts, concerns you have, get them in via the super chat. I don't know what Tolbert season stats are. I have to go in and update them afterwards because I don't want to look at that, so I check it afterwards. But he's up over 700 yards. Pretty sure he had 100 yards in that game. So 40-plus catches, 700-plus yards, and 6 touchdowns. It's unbelievable in the sim. Either way, get your questions in. You got to use that hashtag Cowboys. Again, we've been live for an hour 15, so things get buried otherwise. Need the hashtag Cowboys, or get in no matter what via Super Chat. I think Jay Buzz, Matt Temple, Lawrence Rodriguez, all those questions work pretty well for the mailbag. I see Soccer Pro putting some in there. It's awesome. Get him in. Hashtag Cowboys. Skip the line all together via Super Chat. Otherwise, Chris just can't find him otherwise. So we're trying to make his life easier, my life easier, and have some fun with some mailbags. Let's get to the first one right now. From LAW Law, says, our O-line and D-line with a true telling of our season. We will average 160 yards per game while giving up 60 to 75. If you do that, this is one of the best teams in football. 160 yards per game on the ground would put you as the number 3 run offense from what it was last year, and the number one run defense by a wide margin. I don't know if you'll actually do that. That seems very optimistic, but it means everything's going well for you. The run game is working. The run D is working. You're up big. You're winning games. You're running the football. You're stopping the run. Those indications, like if you're top 5 in both stats, you're almost the best team in football on a pretty consistent basis, because that means the outcomes are probably in your favor too, because you're able to stop the run, you're not giving up yards, and you're able to run the ball too. Now, reminder, we're doing a new George Pickens jersey raffle. Every $5 super thanks or super chat, if you're watching live, gets you into the jersey raffle. Mighty Ants, much like the Law one, $2. Please find me a serviceable, reliable DT in a trade. I would love to do this because I do think you need another defensive tackle. Osa at the 3 technique spot. Okay, cool. I think he'll be better this year. Breakout year potentially coming, or even another breakout year if you want to factor what he's done previously. Sweet. Solomon Thomas can serve as the other 3 technique. Last year, going with Mozzie Smith and 7th rounders / UDFAs didn't work. So we're doing the exact same thing this year, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I am worried about the nose guard spot. I would love to go find one in a trade. The problem is most of those guys aren't available. That's why you're searching around the bottom of the Jordan Phillips barrel, the Linval Joseph barrel. Like, you're probably going to be hunting in a similar grouping this year. Maybe that changes. I agree. I would love to get one. I do worry at that spot in particular, it's a little bit dicey to actually find one. Now, do the Cowboys need a defensive tackle? I think the answer is yes, but I want to hear from you guys. Y for yes, N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So go vote at that pinned comment, Y or N. Lawrence Rodriguez. Cheers time. What do you think about Rasul Douglas as a free agent pickup? I think if you're like factoring in the top free agent corners, like he's in your first couple of names, like Asante Samuel, Stephon Gilmore, Mike Hilton, Rasul Douglas in some order, some combination. Douglas isn't as old as Gilmore and doesn't offer the inside ability as, Mike Hilton. Has better medicals, though, than like Asante Samuel. So I would guess that he wants to find a spot. I think he will find a spot. I wonder if he's looking for more guaranteed playing time and or money than what Dallas is probably going to be willing to offer. Because the Dallas stuff isn't forever. It's like, help us get to the first 8 weeks of the season, potentially. And maybe injuries happen, maybe they don't. Maybe, Savone does not take a step forward. So I would have interest. If, knock on wood, you lose somebody, like he jumps up your list because I think he is the most equipped to play an entire season on the outside right now at his age, but he also probably wants more money as a result. So good name. I wonder if the fit is better elsewhere. That was $20, and so was this one from Matt Temple. Would you consider the best free agent signing, or who do you think consider the best free agent signings to 2000? For me, it's Leroy Glover. I think you've probably got the right guy. And there have been good players. I think the Terrell Owens one worked. Up until it didn't. That's how free agency and signings in general tend to go. I think that Brandon Carr wasn't that bad. I mean, I think you had some good success with safeties. Like Malik Hooker is still playing pretty decently for you. Jaron Kearse was good for a little bit. Not as good as Leroy Glover. Not far from the worst ones there. I think in the end, though, it probably is Glover for just the contract costs, the impact, the length, the longevity, all that I think ends up being the correct answer. Today's show is made possible by Chubby's. Summer is here. It's official time to let those dogs out, and by dogs we mean legs. If your pups have been stuck in jeans or sweats for the last few months, set them free with the Lined Swim collection from Chubby's. They took everything annoying about the old school swimsuits, like that scratchy, annoying mesh liner, and replaced with a soft, supportive boxer brief liner that keeps you comfortable and chafe-free. They've also got the original stretch shorts. They're available in long, short, and way short, and they come with a relaxed fit, elastic waistband, and no fuss design. And then also check out the Chubby's Performance Polo for brunch, backyard party, wedding, crashing a party, golf, whatever it is. It's a structured collar that stays sharp, four-way stretch comfort, breathable, moisture-wicking fabric as well. So whether you're suiting up for cannonballs, cookouts, casual Fridays, the golf course, whatever, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, they're giving you 20% off your order with code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. That's code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Support our show and let them know we sent you. Summer's here, so dress like it in Chubby's. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. J-Buzz. When all healthy, do you think Diggs, Bland, and Revel will be on the field at the same time? Will Bland play the slot willingly? And can Savone Revel play any slot? So when healthy, if they play the way that they think they should play, yes. Those are your three corners. And maybe not in that order, but Diggs, Bland, Revel would be your top three corners. Bland has already been doing slot at minicamp and OTAs. I think he'll be willing to do that as well in season. So I think he'd rather play on the outside, but pay him and it all goes away, right? As for Savone Revel playing slot, I don't think so. He didn't do it in college. His skill set, which is long, leggy, athletic, vertical speed, not the quickest guy necessarily, doesn't translate well to nickel. It translates super well on the outside. It doesn't translate great to nickel. Your nickel options are Deron Bland, Izzy Mukwamu, Kamon Hall, essentially. So it's kind of a thin group. That's why I'm a bit worried about nickel, but Bland on the inside does benefit that as well. So yes, I think those three guys end up being your top three. From Daniel, you think that Jerry and Steven have Gilmore's agent on standby for training camp just to see how this current DB room goes in practice? Probably. I don't know if it's like standby, but I think that they have a list. Any competent organization has a list of like, okay, if something happens, these guys are the ones we're going to go consider. Any competent team. Dallas should have that as well. Cody Nelson, thoughts on a Trey Hendrickson trade? 0% chance it happens for Dallas. They got to pay Micah $40+ million. They don't want to pay Hendrickson $35+ million. Look, they could do it on the books. It's not that impossible to pull off from their money perspective, but they're not going to move a second at best for them to add Hendrickson when they already have Dante Fowler and Azaraku and Sam Williams and Marshall. It's too much. It's too much investment, especially from a money perspective at one spot. With that in mind, name a player who you want to trade for. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. What player do you want to go get? Steven, do you think any starters will play the preseason? If so, I would say the first quarter of the last preseason game. It's a good question. It's a new coaching staff, so I don't know how Schottenheimer feels about it yet. I think even more so than previous years, maybe you have a better argument since, hey, new coaching staff, Dak hasn't played football, since October or whatever, November. Maybe it makes a bit more sense. I would wonder if it's the second preseason game, but it's like a drive or two either way, whichever one it is. I don't think it's going to be the first game. The first game they're going to have the joint practice before, so I doubt they do that. In the end, I don't really care that much about if you play or don't play in the preseason. I get anxious about injuries in the preseason because I've seen it tank seasons before. I have seen teams play their starters for a quarter each preseason and not play their starters for the first quarter of a preseason. In the end, I think the most you see the Cowboys play is what? A quarter total? Is a quarter of football action why you don't struggle for the first month of the season? Because that's the counter. They're going to start slow. I don't think there's the football that they can play to not start slow if that was going to be the case. So I don't worry that much outside of potential injuries happening. We will be live, though, for every single Cowboys preseason game. So don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now. Soccer Pro, do you think CD and Pickens will be the best wide receiver duo in the NFL? It's a good question. I think if you're doing your wide receiver duo lists, they should be in that conversation. They should be on there in the top 10 somewhere, but I don't think they're number one. To me, that is still T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I think A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith are just as good. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I think you can argue Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison in that conversation. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. So, I think they're in that fifth spot-ish, give or take. Dusty, can Trayvon Diggs play in week one? I guess he could. I don't know. Maybe. Actually, maybe. I don't know. He said he wants to. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think the Cowboys are more cautious to not just throw him out there. I think they want to see how he's actually recovering. They haven't seen much of him this offseason. He was there for minicamp. He'll be there for training camp. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I would say it's very low probability because I am treating it as just an unknown. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll know more probably in late July, early August. And if he plays, awesome. I want him back because I think the Cowboys need him out there. If he's not back, well, I'm gonna operate of it's. You can't assume he's gonna be back in week one or week two or week three. It's just you kind of got to let it play out and wait and see, as frustrating as that might be. So what week does Trayvon Diggs return? Let me know in the comments of today's show. From Jariah Jones, if Turpin wasn't fast enough to run from the cops, do we still want him on our team? I knew you were going to do this one for the last question. I knew you were going to do it, Chris. You saw it pre-show like this is great. I think that going too fast was the root cause of why he got in trouble in the first place. So he needs to go less slow off the field and faster on the field. Is that diplomatic enough or no? Was it? I don't know. All right, we'll do another mailbag here. So get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or skip the line altogether via Super Chat. That is Super Chats. We are caught up on those, by the way. Or skip the line altogether with the Super Chat. Or use hashtag Cowboys to get yourself in the queue for producer Chris to find your question. I got my college football playoff water for CFP 26 dropping today. Olivia's going to go to bed, and then I am done. And that's all I'm doing for about 4 hours. So get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys, or again, you can always skip that line via Super Chat. All set, Chris? Let's dive into the second mailbag today. Now, as a reminder, we are doing another George Pickens jersey raffle this summer. So every $5 super thanks gets you in to the George Pickens jersey raffle. Send in $5. I'll answer your question, comment, whatever, and we'll get you in the raffle. Turd Ferguson, SNL legend. Since Eberflus blitzes less, you do a lot of stunt and twist stuff to get movement on the line. There will be enough of that. I think, in general, and this is more of a philosophy for me, I don't like stunts outside of like obvious passing downs. I don't like run stunts. I think run stunts just get you out of position too often. So third downs, yeah, I think you'll see some stunts and you'll see the occasional blitz too. But I think like run downs, I kind of want hat on a hat. I've seen too many times they stunt someone, it just creates the gap because the guy does not get over there in time because the O-line's moving downfield. So I think passing downs, yeah, you'll see some stunts. He hasn't had a Micah before. That'll be fun for him. But I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a Brian Flores defense overall. TX7. Hopefully Javonte breaks 1,000 yards this season. I mean, if that happens, that is like an A+ level outcome for the Cowboys. That is the best case scenario that's like semi-realistic because like he's not going to go for 2,000, you know? I don't know how realistic it is. I think that's asking a lot for a guy that didn't do it, has had injury stuff. I think it'll be a pretty heavy committee, but I think as of right now, he's kind of in the slight lead to be that lead back. From Bart Hester, is that Devin's nephew or something? Deep cut. Why wouldn't the Cowboys pursue Travis Etienne? I think in the end, they want to see what these backs have. Like they want to see what Javonte Williams has once the pads come on, a week and a half into camp. How is Miles Sanders washed up, or does he have some juice left in him? How impactful was Jaden Blue early on in his career? Does Deuce Vaughn have anything to offer? Does Phil Maffa surprise people as a late 7th round pick? Does Lipke does more than just fullback stuff? So they want to see what that running back room looks like. And if they don't have good feelings about it in mid-August, then I think a player like ETN starts to make some more sense. So, do the Cowboys need a running back? Why for yes and for no? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Y or N. It is the pinned comment on today's show. So go vote yes or no. Donnell, Texas Wolf Graves, excuse me. Is it possible the Cowboys make a trade for Andrew Billings? I want to say yes, that they can go get him. But I also know that when Ben Johnson took that job for the Chicago Bears, he kind of went out of his way to point out like the on-off splits for Andrew Billings of like, they were a lot better with Andrew Billings on the field than they were off the field. So if he is available, I want him. He's the nose guard the proven nose guard the Cowboys need. I would wonder if a different defense lineman for Chicago is more likely to be available. A Zach Pickens maybe. That might be more available. But I'd call about him, see what they say. Steven, if Shamar Stewart doesn't agree to return to Cincinnati, would you be willing to trade a second for him? So, yes, I would. But that's not going to happen. Dallas is not going to give up a second-round pick for another edge. They're kind of overloaded at that spot right now. Although I think, a team might offer like a conditional 2 anyway and beat him out because he was a top 20 pick. The Bengals and Shamar Stewart will agree to a deal. Like, the Bengals in the middle of Joe Burrow's prime, are not going to punt a first-round pick over what amounts to like $500,000, $1 million in guaranteed money. Like, they're just not going to. So if someone will cave there, and he will be with the Bengals, and he'll probably start slow because they screwed up in the first place. So don't get your hopes up at all there. From Furman Costa, how about adding Amari Cooper to make the receiver room even better? I would also not get my hopes up here. It's a fun idea of like, we upgraded over Tolbert again, although Tolbert outplayed Amari Cooper last year, if we're being honest with ourselves here. I think Amari wants a bigger role. He is not going to get many targets in the Cowboys offense with Lamb and Pickens out there. Now, knock on wood, when those guys gets hurt, reevaluate, obviously. But as constructed, as healthy, I don't think Amari wants to go down that path because he's not going to get the targets and thus another contract next season. That is a pass as well. So name a player who you want to sign. Any free agent out there, let me know in the comments of today's show. From Robert, can Kalen Carson play the slot? Any news on him? We didn't get to see much of Carson at minicamp / OTAs. He was still rehabbing his shoulder surgery. Should be good to go week 1 of training camp. Not too worried about that one there. So just it's been quiet because he wasn't 100%. Was doing some individual stuff at most. You could try him at slot, but he's never done it before. So I wouldn't think that you'd try him that much. But I could see like, give him some reps, see how he does, just to know one way or the other, since he's lined to be like corner 5 or 6 once everyone's healthy, and you kind of want some position flex there. But he hasn't done much of it, so it is kind of more of an unknown. This Dak Prescott t-shirt, jersey shirt, number shirt, whatever you want to call it, is on clearance on Fanatics. It was $39, now it's $10. Chatsports.com/Dak shirt. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Daniel M. Would Dallas take a chance on a Sunday Simon Jr., or is his neck injury that serious? The team's just trying to stay away from him. The answer is we don't know yet. He's supposed to get medically rechecked at some point this month. We'll probably know more at that point. But the neck surgery is a big-time red flag. It'd be a 1-year flyer anyway, so I don't think there's too much concern in terms of just like, is he going to last for 5 years? Well, it's a 1-year contract, so you're not going to freak out too much about that. But if they don't pass medically, they don't pass medically, so it kind of is what it is. I think the arm length might be a bigger issue for Dallas. / he probably wants a chance to play more guaranteed snaps. YouTube J, Mike Hilton or Stephon Gilmore? Good question. I think it depends on what you want. If you want the outside guy, it's obviously Stephon Gilmore. All right, that's a no-brainer. If you want the inside guy, that's Mike Hilton. If you want the better run support player, that's Mike Hilton. If you want the better coverage player, that's Stephon Gilmore. So it depends on the role, because I don't think the money is that drastically different. Kind of a non-answer, but if you feel good about Bland on the inside, then Gilmore. If you want Bland on the outside, then Hilton. Tyson Wolf, is Mozzie Smith going to do anything? We shall see. Big year for him. He's healthy for this offseason for the first time, but it's another new defensive scheme. Valid questions all over Mozzie Smith right now. If he doesn't take a big step forward this year, he showed flashes last season. It's tough to have him as a piece next year of a reliable piece, which I would argue they're relying too much on him as it is right now anyway. So with that in mind, I want honest answers here. What is your confidence level in Mozzie Smith? 1 to 10 is your scale. From Texas Wolf, in all likelihood, there are no teams who want to trade one of their defensive tackles. Could the Cowboys possibly sign Raekwon Davis? That's a decent veteran name, maybe the one that intrigues me the most, alongside like a Linval Joseph. He wasn't great for Indy last year and got paid and got cut and hasn't been much buzz around him. But, desperate times call for desperate measures. I think that would be a valid free agent option for the Dallas Cowboys, absolutely. Daniel, does it make sense for Dallas to trade Bass for a corner when we need help at corner? I think if you're trading, whether it's for a defensive tackle or a corner or insert position here, whatever it is, I do think a TJ Bass trade is one that you should probably consider. He has played games in the NFL. He plays an offensive line spot that NFL teams always need help at. And the Cowboys have offensive line depth. Like, they go pretty deep relative to most teams with guys that were draft picks or have played real NFL snaps. Like, in fact, every player on this team along the offensive line either was a draft pick outside of Dakota Shepley or has played like real actual NFL snaps. That's very rare. That's almost unheard of in the NFL in the preseason. So I do think if you want to trade somebody, TJ Bass, even though I like him, it's probably on that list. Now, we'll have videos for you every single day on the Cowboys. Hit that sub button right now. From Cowboy Hater. All right, Chris. All right. Let's see how it is. Hope these boys get the crap together and win these dang games. Need them mentally ready on and off the field. Yeah, I think a lot of that is probably coaching related, right? Like you have to have these boys locked in and prepared to play and make some big time impacts. Like they don't win this year or at least show growth. It's kind of murky. Like the way this should go is they should show improvement from last year to this year. And the way the money sets up, they should be aggressive next year. But if they don't show promise, it's tough to think that they'll actually spend some money in the offseason when they don't really do it anyway. Like, this is kind of a prime window to make something happen. Are they going to step up and deliver on that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that front. So will KaVontae Turpin be suspended? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. The pin poll as well. We broke it down earlier this afternoon, or this morning, I should say. I will also have a short available on it not long after today's live stream ends. I think the answer is no. That's what history tells us, but it's the NFL. Always got to have a slight eye on it there. So get your votes in. Y for yes, N for no. I don't think so. Like, it's just stupid, bad decision, but like historically has not been a suspension worthy thing. $10 from Brandon Fail. You are the best on YouTube. Been watching you for a long time. DC for L. Thank you very much, Brandon. That is 2 entries, by the way, into our George Pickens jersey raffle. If you agree with Brandon, make sure you guys are subscribed. I don't actually know when our next live show will be. Got a variety of events and stuff going on the next couple weeks and getting cuts and stuff. So TBD when I will be live next. We'll still have daily videos, oftentimes multiple times per day. So make sure you are subscribed, youtube.com/@CowboysTV.